Okay, my name is Ibrahim Mbalo. I'm a revenue collector here, but I was the one who was in charge of Port Blair because I'm a newcomer here. I was the one who was in charge of Port Blair, but now just last year they bring me here as a revenue collector. But sometimes I do guiding. So you welcome to this monument. The monument is called H22 Monument. H22 Monument was built by military junta, the former president, Captain Yahya Jammeh. Yahya Jammeh came to power in coup 1994. So 1996, they decided to build the H22. This is one of their first development of the city. The H22, the architect, the man who draw the plan is called Per Kujabi from Senegal, but the contractor is called Amadou Samba is from Gambia. The H22 is one of the tallest buildings in Banjul because the step is 156 steps. The H22 is the only place where you can go up and see the beautiful city of the island, seeing the mouth of the river Gambia, Atlantic Ocean. You see the ships are coming from Europe, they land to the seaport. You see the ferry crossing between northbound and southbound. River Gambia is very important. This country was named after the river. And River Gambia is the most navigable river in West Africa. River Gambia also divides the country into two. Do you know that?
Right.
This is north and this is south.
Right.
It was the first European who visited the west coast of Africa, named it after the Senegambia River. So later the British took Gambia to be colonized, but the French they go to Senegal to be colonized. But
Right.
Gambia and Senegal was a one country.
Right.
This street you have seen is called Independence Drive, but the colonial name is also called Clifton Road. The
Okay.
Clifton Road also divides the city into two. This side, the colonial people live this side with their European cemetery. But the other side, where the pavilion, the Banjul, they stay there with their praying ground. This side, what was the European cemetery? 7 September 1946. There was a British South American plane who crashed to the country.
Right.
24 European was that flight. They all passed away. So that's why here was a cemetery.
Okay.
But when the former president came to power, he wanted to build the H22. In 1995, he decided to remove everything and
Right.
take it to Bruce Wang Cemetery.
Right.
So the memory of the names are here.
Okay. Right. So these are the
British, yeah,
memories of
yeah.
the names.
British South American, yeah, 7 September 1946.
646, right?
24 Europeans died in the plane crash. This place was cleared this year. This is
Okay.
also donated by the British High Commission.
Right. So we also know that the Arch 22 has been recently renamed. Okay, so I could not even capture the name still now because I'm so used to the Arch 22. So I don't know if the name is still working or
No,
it's not
it's
working.
not official. It's
It's
not
not official
official.
yet.
No, many people they just write their letter to the never again at 20, but it's not official. I
Okay.
heard about it, but it's not official.
Right. So we just wanted to
At
clear that
22.
out. Okay. So what's inside this Arch 22?
At the at 22, because the most important thing is the view of the city.
Okay.
Yeah, if you go there, you will see, as I told you, you will see the whole view of the city. You know,
Right.
Banjul is an island.
Right.
And we have a first floor, you have a restaurant there, but it's under renovation.
Okay.
But the second floor is where you can have the museum. The
Right.
museum, they're divided into three sections.
Right.
The first section, they're talking about the history of Jammeh. When the Jammeh left the country, there was an investigation that's called TRRC. So they say that some people say Jammeh killed, arresting, kidnapping, disappear and sack from your job. But
Right.
another
Right.
side, another people say that Jammeh make a lot of development. He was a dictator, but nobody was hungry here.
Right.
Because Jammeh make a lot of development. Because Jammeh now is out of the country, but this building is built by Jammeh. So we
Right.
are working here, we are getting our revenue from this H22.
Right.
And you see this other one building that's called the Foreign Affairs. It was also built by Jammeh. And
Okay.
after the H22, you have the National Assembly, which was also built by Jammeh.
Right.
So the other section, you have the history when the royal visited the country, that's Queen Elizabeth. That was 1961. Then you will see it there. And the other side, the third side, you have the Juju exhibition. And the seafood also is there.
So thank you very much, Mr. Mbalo.
If you want, I can go further.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Because Banyan also have a history. I can even tell you that one. Okay, and the capital city of this island was also born out of the British war against slavery. because slavery was stopped in 1807. That decision came from the Chief Justice of England,
Right.
including the three politicians for the abolition of the slavery was William Wilberforce, Thomas Clarkson, Graham Allison.
Mm,
But slavery was not stopped in England until 1833. The British Parliament passed another law to free all the slaves and compensate them over 20 million pounds. That's the time of slavery was stopped.
wow.
But before that, the British started export the slave in the Gambia 1600. 1807, they want to stop it. But because of it was one of the most profitable business between West Africa and America, there are some
During
European,
that time,
they
right.
don't agree with the British bill to stop slavery. It
Okay.
was the Portugal, French, Spanish, American, and also the Dutch. And
Oh,
when they are coming with a slave, they must pass through the mouth of the river Gambia.
right.
But before they settled to this beautiful island, there were the other island called James Island.
Okay.
Now they changed it to Kunta Kinte
Kintakita.
Island in
Right.
2011.
Right, right.
James Island Fort was found in 1456. It was proposed built to keep slaves. For that time, when they get any slave from this country, they take them to the island called James Island. But that time, the British Royal Navy, they are very powerful navy. They're working hard to free the slave. But Kunta Kinte Island is a less strategic point. One of the British captains was called Alexander Grant. Then he told them Banjul Island at the mouth of the river Gambia is the most strategic place to locate a fort and to stop slaves coming to the river. So later, James Island was stopped 1815. 1816, they found Banjul because the occupation of this island was born out of the British war against slavery.
Right.
When they found the capital 1816, they built a six cannon at the state house here just to intercept the slave traffickers. But what they want cannot be possible because the range of the cannonball means the bullet. When they fire from south bank, cannot reach to the north bank. So when they fire from south bank, the ball will only go half of the man see. Then you will see the enemy, they easily go close to the north bank, escape with their slaves. That's why the British, they go to the other side, they build a fort there, that's called Fort Bullen. So Fort Bullen was found in 1826. Fort Bullen is the only one they built to stop slavery. After building the Fort Bullen, you see the gun, they will complement both sides of the river mouth. There are many forts in West African coast, but Fort Bullen is the only one in West Africa built by the European to stop slavery.
Right.
America, the trade of slaves was ended in 1865, but Gambia was after building the two military positions.
Right.
The total number of slaves taken to whole West Africa, what they estimate is between 10 to 15 million slaves. It will be more than that. That is just an estimation. So the annual number was 20,000. After the American, they are getting slaves through the Spanish. Because the slave trade in Gambia is over 400 years. The Portugal, they started here 1456. The British started here 1600. 1807, they want to stop it. But if you look at those miserable men and women and how they pass those slaves into the slave ship, many of the slaves that die in the way
Mm,
before they arrive in the new world called America. Most of the slaves they were captured in a war and later brought by a right man in the market. The town and village that they are destroying. African lost 100,000 men and women every year. That is why several African kingdoms they went to war against each other simply to win more slaves and sell them to the European. That's
wow.
called triangular slave
That's
trade.
great, yeah.
Was started between the 16 to 1700. Because when the European came to Europe, they bring a European good. That's gunpowder, clothes, mirror, wine, exchange with a human being. That human being take it to America. From there, they get their plantation, sugar, tobacco. They take it back to their own country. The
Wow.
slave trader keeping the slave always fasting. While they are within the slave ship, they will put them in a danger because in their castle no light, little food or little water, just to keep them alive. When the slaves arrive, the slave how they are packing the slave no space because they pack them like a sardine. Thousands of slaves they die anyway. If you die or if you sick, they throw it from the water. Because in the earlier days, the slaves they have no right. They are belonging to their master. They are just like a domestic animal. You can kill your slave. Anything you want to do for a slave, you can do it.
Right.
The Portuguese traders came to Africa to get slaves, take it back to their own country for their domestic war. Because that time they found the man and woman in Africa, they are very strong. And the West Indian in America, they are not enough strong to undertake such hard war. So when the European advent needed slave to America, that's why they choose the people from Africa. So Bara, that fort was built in 1826 because when the British came to Bara, they met a man called Brunei Sonko. Brunei
Okay.
Sonko was the king of Bara. So
Okay.
Brunei Sonko, British asked him permit to build the fort. But Brunei was refused that when the British build the fort, they will fight against him. So Brunei attacked the British. The British fled to Senegal in Gorée Island and even Freetown in Sierra Leone. But when they came back, they came with a contingent with heavy weapons. Brunei Songo was arrested and they asked him that we will be free. But the ceded mile, you have to sign it. Brunei signed the ceded mile, they built the Fort Blair.
Right.
World War II was 1939 to 1945. So that fort was also renovated again by the British Army. If you look at Senegal, it's surrounded this country by three sides except the river. So the government of France, that's called Vichy. So during the World War II, some German with the French, they fight against the British. That's why the British, they go to Fort Blair, they modify some of the gun with ammunition magazine. In case of any attack from Senegal, they will also respond. But afterward, there's no fighting. They just modify the place in case of an attack. So the Gambian soldiers were also trained to the Fort Bullen to go to the Burma War. If you go there, you will see some of the picture there.
Right.
So Gambia, we have the colonial fort, we have here only three. We have Fort Bullen, it's the only one they built to stop slavery. Because Fort Bullen is a very good location, it's a
Okay.
strategic location. So
Okay.
that's the only way to go and come in. So when the British built State House, built Fort Bullen, they control the river map. But
Okay.
slave ship, Gambia, I told you, Gambia River is the most navigable river in West Africa.
Right.
Gambia to America or Europe, the slave ship that take 35 days to anchor to Europe. You
Wow.
see? So it's very navigable river. So the other one is called Fort James. It was built in 1456. James Island was purposely built to keep the slave, but it
Okay.
was called James Island. One of the brother to Michael Jackson, that's called Jermaine Jackson. He was a friend of the former president. In 2011, he came to the president and asked the president, you have to name it to Kunta Kinte Island.
Right.
That's why the name is called Kunta Kinte Island. So
Okay.
another fort is called Fort Level. Fort Level, you have it in Banjul. Be different with the cannon at the State House.
Okay.
Fort Level was built 1831. It was during the Barra War. In 1831, the British they built that fort to fight with the king. You see,
Right.
so if you want to talk about the slavery, you cannot leave Banjul, Fort Glen, and Kunta Kinte Island.
Island out
So
of
they
it.
are really interconnected.
Yeah.
So it
So
was just a brief
right.
explanation.
Thank you very much, Mr. Balo.